in so-called Australia. A culture war tore the nation apart. And somehow, the lefties won. And I should know, I'm the Prime Minister, Albo. This is my land. Good morning, fellow white straight males.
Hey, big boy.
Just as the elders foretold, this is Namageddon.
I'm gay and retarded, Your Honour. I'll allow it.
That's toxic positivity. I'm sorry. In case you haven't noticed, Pete, I'm black.
Daddy, I don't believe him.
You have to believe him, honey. He's 1/16th Aboriginal. Wait, what if someone sees us?
Let the cookers watch.
Wow, the rainbow serpent. Sounds like a really cool gay snake. It's not a gay snake!
It's not a gay snake. Just because it has a rainbow on it, it's not a gay snake. I actually think Duke is 1/16th Aboriginal. Or maybe 132. Or maybe 164. Or maybe 128. Waiting for the piano to go. There it is. As you can see, it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving up in Canadistan. We already had our Thanksgiving. Filled with strife and opposition and everyone. We shouldn't have Thanksgiving. No one should be thankful for anything. Should we? I don't know if that's happening up in the States or down in the States. But as you can see, we are just coiling up here. Coiling. Now, should we put in a premonitionatory channel of ascension? You know, we're usually doing things that have a downward trajectory. So why don't we do one that has an upward trajectory? Well, you know, we'll just go something like this, you know, and then something like that. And then we can maybe plan out where we're going to go from here. If we get, now we just put this channel in. So it hasn't really aligned with the universe. Like my simulation, whoever's running my simulation is just like, oh, okay, pianomattyb, he put a channel of ascension. Let's bounce off this arbitrary doodle he just put. Okay. And which is dipping beneath the 20 moving average. Now I would, if I was a gambling degen, which I am at heart, I would say that we'll coil more here as the 50 moving average comes down to the 20 moving average to break bread on Thanksgiving with the rest of the American citizens right here all day long. Like, it's hard to beat the amount of low volume that the summer had. If you remember, I remember seeing like playing the piano bar and seeing like the whole weekend, it's just almost like a straight line, doesn't even move. I kind of think that's going to happen. Now, alternatively speaking, it's a nice time for those psychopathic old nerd whales to dump. It's like, no volume, you say, eh? Destroy market. Now, there could be that. It's weird because when I play C, it has a resolution, right? But I accidentally played B. It was much more ominous and dark. Hear that? This is what I usually do. I usually play a low C. Kind of know where you are. It's like getting directions finally on some desert road. That's the way we go? Oh, okay, perfect. But then if the directions are one semitone down to a B, it's way more darker. Interesting things that we accidentally come across, you know, because everything's frequencies, right? So this frequency is a little bit faster. This one is a lot darker. You could almost have a horror movie where the whole soundtrack, the building anxiety was. Anyway, where are we? Where are we going here? So now, if we were to bingo, bango, bongo from this channel of ascension and get the bounce, well, we threw a wick down here to this arbitrary doodle. Threw a wick down here. I would expect to, let's put it in. Yeah, we're going to change the fate of the world here. We're going to bingo, bongo. Unfortunately, we will probably bingo, bongo this way. And then there we go, 94. Now, you can see this is the 4-hour chart. So this could be, the next 3 days. If we just sit here in an upward trend, I wouldn't want to break right here at 86.6, because then we'll likely retest this channel of descension, which we put it trumps the ascension. It's been in here for a long time. If we looked like this, yeah, it's a steep one too. She's steep. Anyway, yeah, that's what we'll do on the 4-hour chart. We can see the MACD is about to roll over. B. She's about to roll over there. Now, where was it last time? Let's see if we can find any hint of some divergence. No, everything's kind of rocking and rolling. Here's the high, lower high. Here's the high, lower high. Yeah, more or less everything's in its plane. You could cherry pick here. You could cherry pick this. What am I doing? Where's my things? You could cherry pick this right here. But I mean, we're cherry picking in a existing downward trend, which is engulfed by a more natural MACD. So we have lower highs and a higher high here. What am I doing here? All wonky. Bingo, bango. A little bit of divergence there, but we're Christopher Nolan within a normal market makeup, which is, in the pull out a bit, we have a higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high. So it is natural. So we're just kind of mincing words. Bruce Maya, I just realized I was watching your 24-hour chart stream. There are a few others there too, because we got that from YouTube. Yeah, I don't know why I chose to do that this morning. I feel like when I have an idea creatively, I have an impending time clock that I got to follow, and it runs itself, and it gives me anxiety. It's like, have you done that yet? You said you were. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Well, how come you didn't do it now? I didn't have time. I had to go play squash, and I had to, take a steam and whatnot. And then there's Duke and everything and lunch and everything like that. I'm like, well, don't you think you should do it now? It is, it's 6:30 a.m. No one's up. Why don't you do it now? Okay, I'll do it now. Then I started doing it. So that meant going into my other computer and grabbing all the music I've ever written and putting it into this big, long 4-hour MP4, because that's the only way it'll accept it. It has to be small. And then putting it on my phone and then taking it so this computer is an old computer. It's a 2000, because it has to be that 24-hour stream has to be a standalone computer. And it's in the downstairs bathroom. And just plugged in. I don't even know if she'll last, because she's getting hot. Like, I can feel it. It's getting hot there. So I tested it all night to see if it would clock out, and it didn't. So we'll see. If anything, you get 4 hours of every song I ever written in my life, except for the mashups from T-Bach, which I'll look for, but I couldn't find today. Don't ruin the magic. Well, it's more interesting if you really think about it, E-Money, that, that's how it's set up. It's in my downstairs basement, just on a shelf, plugged in 24/7. The reason why I did that, if you missed yesterday's stream, is that I like to work with my TV in the downstairs in the basement with a 4-hour screen, but I don't want to mirror my computer, because I use my computer. I just want to stand alone 24. Where's the price? 4-hour chart. Where is she? Gotcha. Same place as it was 12 months ago. Gotcha. It makes me feel a little bit easier here. Yeah, so maybe we faked out a bunch of people today. Who knows? Oh, see, this is what I was worrying about. Session disconnected. Now I'm wondering if when I connect here, will I disconnect in the one in the bathroom? I know you're allowed to, right? So whatever. It is what it is. Now, You want to get real bearish? Because we could. I mean, I have a license to print bear flags. I don't know if you know that. But we could do a mutter of all bear flags. Let's just put it in. I mean, eventually, if we just cascade into the Netherlands of a bear market, I'm not saying we will. Oh, that's not it. Just saying, you know, eventually we'll see a little bit of a downturn. So why don't we, you know, take the bull, you know, slide it all to breakout point, and, you know, then we're all at holy cats in the cradle. 61K. We'll call it 60K just for psychological reasons. Put it in just because we're here. 60K-ish. Oh. 60K-ish. There we go. It's in there. It's in there. That's if we're getting real bearish, but we could break out of here, you know, and we could go up to the bull market rejection zone, which I'm hoping. Oh, yeah, just for my future videos. Hey, it's me from the past, letting you know that it might go to 60K-ish. Okay, now I got it. And now what'll happen when it goes to 60K, I'll be like, what the hell day was that video I did that? Oh, my God. Scrolling through the things. I guess what would be better is if YouTube sent me like a script, you know, and so I could always go by and put in 60K. Did I say that? Oh, that's where it was. Anyway, this is the ding dong. What I would like to see, and what I do expect to see, and I'll be quite shocked, to tell you the truth, if we don't see a relief rally up to 98K. I'll be really shocked. Shut your mouth, Jimmy Cocos. No doubt, eh? Oh, it's such a weird start to the Wednesday Nothing Burger Day. Just some sort of weird parody about wokeism from Australia. Everything sounds a little more fun with an Australian accent. You know, it's like the crazy buddy of yours who's always crazy no matter what. That's what an Australian accent sounds like to me. How do we outrétard? It's outrétard the market, Terry. Outrétard. Just so I don't get any trouble here on, you know, this sensorial platform. I had to put in the exante goo. In case you don't, if you've never seen it, it's an exante goo. Or what's the other ones? Exante grave. Exante grave. That's the other way. Exante goo, exante grave. There's another one too. There's another one. Who Cares Entertainment says 70K is max pain. Oh, my friend Who Cares Entertainment, that's not max pain. B, that's max pain. 70K is kind of where we were before the Trumpinian extravaganza began. If we want to go back, like let's take a look at that. I guess we can get rid of these arrows. No, we'll keep those arrows in just for posterity's sake. 70K right here. Yeah, that's right where we took off on November 24th, like a year ago. This is, you could almost make this all like a big face of Donald Trump in the administration to nowhere. This is where it is. So it would make sense to erase it all. But at 70K, my friend, it's not pain enough. Let's see. Felt a little better, right? More resolution. That's why when I have that 60K in there, which, like, listen, it's not that far away, like percentage-wise from where we are right now. So it's another 30% drop. Like, it's what we just witnessed in the past month happening again. Circumflex. There's another one. Exante goo, exante grave. I don't speak French. Don't even like the language. And I don't like it when people speak it either. You know what I mean. I don't really care, but it's like, why are you talking Spanish? Why are you so angry at each other too? Why are you so angry at each other? Imani says 60K will probably be close to the bear bottom. my friend. It's the humble opinion of this piano of 40K will be the wick down. Where am I getting that from? A dream. So like, take it with a grain of Canadian maple syrup salt. That it's just a dream. But hey, future self, it's me, Matty B. It's November 26th. Just want to tell you that I had a dream about 40K, gay. Okay, so now we got two I told you so videos to go. Let's see what we're doing on the whole weekly chart. I know I'm disconnected. Come on. Well, this is where I get somewhat bullish when I look at this. And I've been trying to do this, not look at the charts. I want to come on this stream with fresh eyes, which is ironic because, you know, nothing's really happening. So like I'm looking at the same chart, but at the same time, my brain, just like when we hear MP3s versus AIFFs, it will fill in what it doesn't see, right? So this is what I'm thinking is bullish. Is we have this long hair don't care wick thrown down to 80K. And it was immediately bought up. And this, if we to sit here all for the next 3 days, which is quite likely with Thanksgiving and half a day Friday and not much market, this could sit as a spinning top, right? But a spinning top at the bottom of a downturn is usually a good indicator of a rebound or reversal. So I'd like to see this, but here's the good news. Any type of green candle above here, like let's say we close the candle up here to 89. It's just more indicative of the reversal happening, right? We don't have to have a spinning top to validate a reversal. This little wick and this tiny little candle is validation enough, for Christ's sake. Always searching for validation in these charts, you know? It's so insecure, these charts. Why don't you just, be your own chart? Don't seek validation from all these simp traders. You're good enough. Weekly chart. You're good enough. Now, here's an interesting thing I saw. I made a video. There's a lunch video coming out where I was cooking a steak talking about MicroStrategy and the calamity. It's coming out at noon. But there's always a reason for FUD, right? And now this boomer, Jimmy Diamonds here, there's a reason why he will FUD the F out of MicroStrategy. And why is that? So he can do exactly what MicroStrategy is doing. Look at what they do, not what they say. But this is Simon Dixon. He's a kind of an old school maxi. He's pretty smart. A little bit of a doomsdayer, but I'll quickly read it. In case you're driving, the Financial Industrial Complex, FIC, has rolled out yet another speculative leverage paper product designed to wedge itself between you and your Bitcoin. The FIC is now openly testing a full suite of Bitcoin-linked financial instruments engineered for maximum price manipulation, fee extraction, and volatility harvesting. Now, where have we heard that? All right. Michael Saylor's been talking about volatility is vitality. This is another vassalizing strategy to part you from your Bitcoin, especially if you borrow against it or trade with leverage. Yeah, they're really coming hot for you, for your Bitcoin. They're going to FUD you out. I've seen it. I've seen this line of propaganda more and more in the past couple of days. Now, people are getting legitimately, people are breaking into people's house and forcing their cold storage. It probably is happening. And they might lean on that narrative like, what's the good with cold storage? You got to get it into our cold storage. We'll keep you safe. We'll keep you real safe. Until we pull an Executive Order 6102. Maybe we'll call it 6121. Yes, I like it. 21, you put that in there. Let's get back to it. These tools exist to trigger margin calls on Bitcoin-backed loans, force sell pressure from Bitcoin treasury companies in down markets, and create manufactured buy pressure in up markets so the FIC can position themselves long before the public even realizes that the game has begun. Yeah. So one of the things we have to look out as we invited, institutions in, is that they don't stop playing their games, their manipulation games. In fact, they get to try it out on a new market. I wonder how badly we can manipulate this market with all these financially illiterate Bitcoin maxis. So they'll just they'll pump the market, dump the market. They need the levers, right? The levers of the economy. Well, all those paper, Bitcoin, and everything. And that's when they can start manipulating, real manipulation. Now, as an old school hodler, you just buckle up, appreciate the volatility. It's going to go up. Every time it does go up, we've been in here long enough to understand that it's going to mean revert, right? Nothing's going to stay highly elevated. They can't print Bitcoin, so they print Bitcoin paper instead. They want the upside of volatility while pushing retail into wrappers, treasury products, loans, synthetic notes, ETFs, and leverage structures where they control the rules, the liquidity, the flow, and the outcomes. Yeah, that's what they're doing a really good job of it. Like the new retail is boomer retail, arguably the worst type of retail, right? Fickle and highly manipulatable due to fear and greed, right? You're missing out. Okay, get me in. Oh, it's dumping. You should get out. Okay, whatever you say, financial advisor. Whoever believed the FIC entering Bitcoin would create stability was mistaken. The FIC does not want stability. The FIC survives on volatility and gamblers. So does the entire stock market. Market makers and exchanges have historically done this, but now the FIC is doing it on a global scale and on steroids. JP Morgan's latest proposal, leveraged structural note using BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, is the perfect example of a complex asymmetric bet where they can call the note early if it benefits them, extend it if it benefits them, cap your freedom, but not theirs, and harvest volatility every step of the way. Yeah. So this is like exactly what MicroStrategy is doing. Now, I would say that MicroStrategy, it just rolls off the tongue. I always battle with it. Michael Saylor strategy, not MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy. It makes sense, right? We know what we're talking about. That's something in me. Right paper here. This is what he's doing, and I believe, it's the humble opinion of this opinion, that MicroStrategy has a little more benevolence in the market. I think his intentions are obviously best for his own, but I think the trickle-down effect of his intentions and his benevolence is stronger for the market. Now, he is an outsider, and he's a danger because he's not in this club. He's not in Finkelsteinberg's club. He's outside the system, so they don't really want it. So they FUD him while popping up their bags. Everything that they said was bad about MicroStrategy is everything that they're doing now. So it's easy for us to decipher this, but you got to remember, you got to put in the mind of a boomer. Which channel should I watch? Who's going to give me the most accurate lies? CNBS? Perfect. MicroStrategy's bad? Okay. JP Morgan's is trustworthy? Okay. If Bitcoin drops 40%, you take the damage. If Bitcoin explodes by 2028, they capture the liquidity, the data, the fees, and the structure to manage while handing you a taxable coupon dressed up as exposure. True, and we know what their big game is to never let you out, right? Never sell, never just keep you in there. Who's phoning me at 8:24 on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? Anyway, that's interesting. Do what they do, not what they say. They say it's bad. However, they basically carbon copy everything he's doing. Now, I haven't heard this thing here, but I was always saying how AI will eventually take over me, like music, live music. And funny side note is that before the Jimmy, if you're ever at the Jimmy, like waiting for the show to start, I play this list of soul covers, of AI soul covers, because they'll do like, Chris Cornell and Nirvana, but as soul, and it's unbelievable, and it's AI. Now let's see what this says though. New Mississippi-made soul singer Christian artist Solomon Ray hits the #1 spot for gospel music. It's not a real person. Now, I'd argue that a lot of the pop stars that we think are real people aren't really real people, in the sense that they're not like singing in a gospel choir their whole life, and then they just get a big break somewhere. Someone sees them. They're manufactured by a massive money company that happens to dabble in music. So, I mean, what's the difference between like a Taylor Swift or, you know, a Britney Spears and an AI? I guess there's human flesh involved, but not for us. I mean, only human flesh for the small community that actually, you know, touches them. Christian artists are speaking out after the AI singer hit #1 spot on the iTunes and Billboard charts. At minimum, AI does not have the Holy Spirit inside of it. So I think that's really weird to be opening up your spirit to something that has no spirit, said Christian music artist Forrest Frank. Never heard of him. Not a big Christian rock fan. It's difficult to envision a future where we look back and think creating AI was a net positive for our world. At most, it should be a tool for humans, not a replacement for them, said singer. This is what I say to Christian singer-songwriter Phil Wickman and Forrest Frank. Do better. It's simple. Do better. If AI is making you look bad, well, maybe you got to up your game. Because that's what I think we see here. We see AI up its game. And so we see all these soul covers, right? And now, if you've heard the voice, I don't know if it's this guy. We'll take a listen in a second. If you've heard the voice of these AI soul covers, it's unbelievable. It's like your favorite voice, raspy, super high, like Chris Cornell height, and just like the raspiest music to your ears type of singer. And so what'll happen is that human kids will hear it and they will design their voice based on this person. So now they have something to attain, right? They have something to mimic and they'll mimic it. And then it'll be a human doing it and it'll be doing it just as well. So let me remind you that most singers, except for Kyle and I, they use autotune. So it is AI too. So you're singing into an AI almost. Right? It's not considered AI, but it's a computer. You're running through your voice through it. It's changing it to make it sound more flawless. Now, we don't do that, obviously, but most people do. I don't know where I got off the rails there on that. It's difficult to envision a future where we look back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so these kids will hear perfect pitch. Like Duke has almost perfect pitch. When he sings, rarely off, right? There's going to be a whole school of kids that learn to sing with perfect pitch. Not perfect pitch, but... I can't remember what it's called, but it's close to perfect pitch. And they will design their voices off these AIs, right? Just like, you know, when I was young, I wanted to sing like Chris Cornell. He was my AI soul singer. To me, he was as far away as these soul singers I hear on AI. Anyway, you mimic them and you try to sound as much as you can. Relative pitch. There you are, Jape. Yeah. And that's what'll happen. And then humans will leapfrog the AI, because if you enjoy watching an AI video of some black soul singer, you will enjoy tenfold an actual human doing it if they can do it. And I think they can. I'm pretty bullish on human singers and amping it up. We just kind of get better and better and better. Now the 90s were a little different, because although there was like Lane Staley and Chris Cornell, it also brought in a bunch of shoegazer mediocre singers that weren't that great. Anyway, I'm honestly still wrestling with the whole AI music thing. Can it be a tool to speed up a rather tedious process? Yes. But can it be used as a crutch instead of finding inspiration and direction from the Holy Spirit? Also, yes, regardless. I'm believing God will be magnified regardless, said singer. Yeah. I mean, the message gets there. Let's see what
they say, boy, that ain't real sing. Just a fancy way to cheat. But they don't know for what I prayed all my heart off in this beat. See, the gift was always in me, but a band I can't afford. God just opened up another door for my song to strike a chord. Now I've got a tool God let me use. Truth. Now I'm told I have no soul since I done broken all the rules. My God gets the glory. And when all creation sings, yes he does. If rocks can cry out to praise your name, then you can use anything. Oh, boy.
Number one.
Hey, it's good. It has that voice that cuts. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like that's my kind of voice. Like this guy can dial in that distortion, it's called, AKA rasp. It has an amazing range. Now that's not even as good as the soul covers. If you go, later in your day, soul covers Chris Cornell, it's unbelievable how good it is. Now that's going to be humans. Like it's a premonition of sorts. Humans, the next generation of singers will look to that as inspiration, and they'll become just as good. Now we're having a little pump, it looks like, say. Now, nothing to write home about, nothing to get too excited about. It's about a $400 pump. But that's, hey, on this low volume Thanksgiving dinner, all we can hope for is a little bit of a pump. Now, what the beauty of this now is that when I end this stream, if you're doing nothing and it's on the TV, it'll take you to a 4-hour chart.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.